on the crown of the sun. The dusty streets know my name before I run. No mercy found in the cracks of the stone. I built this empire with blood and with bone. The golden horn sound the jagged decree. You face the storm when you look upon me. Heavy vibrations are cracking the floor. Tell every coward to back from the door. The air is thick with the heat of the fray. The lions are hungry for what you betray. The sky turns to fire above the plateau. Prepare for the impact and take the first blow. Stand in the presence of power and grit. The fuse of the universe finally is lit. I am the thunder and I am the blade. The greatest of kings that the earth ever made. Unstoppable force in a world made of glass. Watching the shadows of history pass. Bow to the master of fury and light. We own the terror that governs the night. Metal is grinding on pillars of glass. I watch the weak and the spiritless pass. Throne made of thunder and lightning and lead. The ghost of the fallen is out of my head. Deep in the gutter, the engine will roar. Taking the spoils like a titan of war. Nobody breathes while I stand on the peak. The words of the strong are the laws for the weak. The air is thick with the heat of the fray. The lions are hungry for what you betray. The sky turns to fire above the plateau. Prepare for the impact and take the first blow. Stand in the presence of power and grit. Fuse of the universe finally is lit. I am the thunder and I am the blade. The greatest of kings that the earth ever made. Unstoppable force in a world made of glass. Watching the shadows of history pass. Bow to the master of fury and light. We own the terror that governs the night. Stand in the presence of power and grit. The fuse of the universe finally is lit. I am the thunder and I am the blade. The greatest of kings that the earth ever made. Unstoppable force in a world made of glass. Watching the shadows of history pass. Bow to the master of fury and might. We own the terror that governs the night.
Song, a spirit calling from a hollow throne. The wind is carrying a frantic beat, with ghost and shadow in the canyon meet. The pulse is quickening beneath the skin. The ritual of fire is about to begin. A sudden surge within the desert veins to break the silence of the heavy chains. Thousand voices rise in tongues of old, a story written but never told. The sand is spinning in a frantic dance, a fevered motion in a steady trance. The air is heavy with the scent of pine, a jacket moving on a crooked line. The earth is trembling with the hidden power to claim the center of the midnight hour. Is failing as the walls come down. A golden glimmer on the igniting every cold and lonely spark. The speed is rising to a jagged peak, the very answers that the seeker seeks. The drum is steady, but the soul is wild. The ancient mother and the frantic child, a looping circle in the crimson dust. In every motion is a silent trust. Go!
Chanting gathers like a stormy sea,
A frantic prayer
to set the spirit free.
The ground is shaking with a heavy thud, a primal memory in the thickening blood. The energy
It's spiraling toward the sun.
a million names.
Millions and a race begun.
The temple surges through the narrow gate to meet the crushing and the heavy weight.
Eagle circles in a dizzy loop, across the valley where the shadows stoop.
The frantic motion of the beating wings is how the spirit of the mountain sings. The heavy light
As of the shift in time,
are moving
upward in the frantic climb.
The vision flickers in the purple haze to find the exit of the winding lane.
Gravity is steady as the wall comes down, a golden glimmer on a thorny ground.
The frantic rush can cut the mighty tide, with nowhere left for the weak to hide. The heavy hammer strikes a silver bell, a frantic living and a quiet hell. The motion captures every drop of light against the velvet of the endless night. Gravity is steady as the walls come down, the golden glimmer on the thorny crown. The frantic crushing comes to rise and tumbling down, with nowhere left for the weak to hide.
Ancient echoes rise from red clay. Shadows dance where spirits play. Running through the valley, drums beat fast, chasing phantoms from the past. Heads turn as the thunder rolls in. Feel the fire beneath the skin. Footsteps shake the hollow ground, lost within the fevered sound. Copper bells ring in the heavy heat. Dusty winds howl down the broken street. Silver moonlight cuts the tangled vine, woven in a grand design. Ancient echoes rise from red clay. Shadows dance where spirits play. Running through the valley, drums beat fast, chasing phantoms from the distant past. Hear the voices call from mountain peak. Search for wisdom, elder speed. Iron chains breaking, sudden glare. Something wild moves in the air. Footprints lead to the world's edge. Tattered flags line the ledge. Empty vessels wait for rain. Secret symbols will remain. Blood pumps steady like a clockwork heart. Watch the jagged pieces fall apart. Gravity fails as the circle spins. Where does the ending of the trail begin? Ancient echoes rise from red clay. Shadows dance where spirits play. Running through the valley, drums beat fast, chasing the phantoms from the distant past. The golden heart circles the frozen lake. Calculate the ripples that the giants made. Nothing stays the same in shifting light. Hold the torch aloft against the coming night. Hey! Oh, 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 oh. Ancient echoes rise from red clay. Hey! The dust is dancing in the hollow beam, where ancient fathers sold a heavy dream. I hear the chanting from my cellar floor, a wooden bowl against the iron door. The wind is pulling at the copper wire, the night is feeding on a dying fire. They carve the lineage in the canyon wall, before the empires learn to trip and fall. They carve the lineage in the canyon wall, before the empires learn to trip and fall. The drums are beating in the marrow bone, a language written in the jagged stone. The water rises through the thirsty sand, to wash the markings from a worry land. The shadows stretch into a taller shape, beyond the boundaries of a cold escape. The pulse is quickening within the clay, to drive the silence of the soul away. Awaken the giants under the deep, promises we meant to keep. The thunder calls the names of the dead, follow the thread where the hunters bled. Gravity fails as the mountains rise, visions burn through stranger eyes. The smoke is curling like a golden snake, around the ripples of the frozen lake. No map can follow where the spirits go, beneath the crust where the diamonds grow. The air is thick with a forgotten sand, of every lifetime that we blindly spend. The shadows stretch into a taller shape, beyond the boundaries of a cold escape. The pulse is quickening within the cave, to drive the silence of the soul away. Awaken the giants under the deep, the promises we meant to keep. The thunder calls the names of the dead, follow the drag where the hunters play. Gravity fails like when mountains wise, visions burn through stranger eyes. Awaken the giants under the deep, the promises we meant to keep. The thunder calls the names of the dead, follow the fray where the hunters blade. Gravity fails as the mountains rise, visions burn through stranger eyes.
The dust is rising from the ancient clay. The restless spirits find a jagged way. A crimson sun is burning through the haze. We walk the fire of the forgotten days.
The drums are thumping underneath the skin. The battle for the soul is set to begin. No silver spoon can feed the hungry ghost.
Who wanders further from the hollow coast? Wilder than the thunder in the dark, brighter than the dying of the spark. The heavy chains around the mind leave the bitter winter far behind. We are moving like the shifting tide, with nowhere left for all the lies to hide. The golden engine roars into the night. We are the heavy sons of blinding light.
Through the canyons where the shadows flowers grow, where the heavy river starts to flow.
The mountain peaks are calling out your name.
Strip away the glory and the shame.
Throw the heavy keys into the deep, while a tired city falls asleep.
Wake the giant sleeping in the stone.
Claim the broken kingdom for your own.
The prophets mutter in the marketplace about the lines upon a weathered face.
They traded copper and they traded fear,
But not a single word is what we hear.
The wind is blowing from a distant plain
to wash away the scent of iron rain.
The eagle circled in the velvet blue, seeking out a vision that is true.
Feel the iron post against the bone. The greatest story ever left unknown.
The wheel is spinning faster than before, as we are knocking on the final door.
Louder than the thunder in the dark, brighter than the dying of the spark. The heavy chains around the mind leave the bitter winter far behind. We are moving like the shifting tide, but nowhere left for all the lies to hide. Golden engine roars into the night.
We are the heavy sons of blinding light.
Wilder than the thunder in the dark, brighter than the dying of the spark. The heavy chains around the mind leave the bitter winter far behind. We are moving like a shifting tide, but nowhere left for all the lies to hide. The golden engine roars into the night.
We are the heavy sons of blinding light.
Facing the dirt while the iron bell rings. Kingdoms collapse under heavy brass kings. I am the hammer that shatters the stone, carving the path to the seat of the throne. Step to the rhythm of thunder and fire, blood on the altar and ash on the pyre. Nothing can stop what is destined to rise. I see the terror reflected in eyes. Walls are vibrating with every lobby. That's the centuries under my feet. Ancient vibrations are tearing the sky. Look at the vultures that circle on high. Silver and gold are just shadows and dust. Power is hunger and power is lust. No more debating the price of the soul. Taking the planet and taking control. Hear the roar from the depth of the earth, screaming for mercy and screaming for birth. Every vibration is breaking the chain, driving the needle right into the vein. Heavy and jagged and cutting through bone. King of the wreckage and king of the unknown. Strike like a lightning bolt out of the dark, leaving a permanent jagged black mark.
Silence is dead and the volume is God, crushing the sword and the stone in the side, tearing the curtains and breaking the seals, caught in the turning the master's steel wheel.
No one is safe when the giant awakes, ripping the surface until the wall shakes.
Scars on the knuckles and salt on the tongue, sounds of a battle that only begun.
Brass in the distance is calling for war, knocking the hinges right off of the door, grinding the gears of a broken machine. Strongest eruption that you ever seen, pulling the gravity down to the floor, begging for mercy then begging for more.
Cold as the winter and hard as the lead,
Counting the words that have never been said,
Something like fury inside of your chest, putting the weak and the weary to rest. Built out of tension and built out of spite, swallowing every last flicker of light. Look at the mountain and watch as it falls, writing the prophecy deep on the walls.
total destruction is all that remains, shattering lights in the heavy and chains.
tidal waves crashing on top of the shore. Nothing is ever the same as before. Hear the roar from the depth of the earth, hey, screaming for mercy and screaming for birth. Hey, every vibration is breaking the chain, hey, driving the needle right into the vein. Hey, heavy and jagged and cutting through bone. Hey, king of the wreckage and king on the unknown. Hey, strike like a light black mark.
Iron kings arrive in gold and dust. Thunder cracks the sky beneath our feet. Seven kingdoms bow because they must hear the pounding fury of the street. The desert sand is burning under heels. Steel and copper clashing in the air, crushing every doubt with heavy wheels. Smoke is rising from the tiger's lair. Surges through the ancient veins, the silence with the roar of pride. Nothing but the victory remains. Nowhere left for enemies to hide. Fire dancing on the temple walls. Gods are watching from the mountain peak. When the titan rises, the shadow falls. Only strongest find the truth they see. Diamond blades are flashing in the dark. Cobra coil around the marble throne. Every strike will leave a jagged mark, claiming every kingdom for our own. Stone and spirit fusing battle heat. Lightning striking from the heavy cloud. Victory is bitter and it's sweet, wrapped inside a golden royal shroud. Power surges through the ancient veins, the silence with a roar of pride. Nothing but the victory remains. Nowhere left for enemies to hide. Fire dancing on the temple walls. Gods are watching from the mountain peak. When the titan rises, shadow falls. Only strongest find the truth they seek.
Stone dust is rising from a shattered throne. The ancient breath is thick and red, awakened giants from the frozen beds.
Set from fire in the midnight eye, the earth is trembling in the heavy sky. No mercy for the weak of soul, let the thunder take its final toll.
Runs in muscle in a frantic dance, broken chains give a second chance. The mountain speaks in a jagged tongue, songs of battle that were never sung.
Fists of fury meet the iron gates, smashing to the walls of hollow hate. The blood is hot like a desert sun, the reckoning has just begun. Rise through the smoke and the blinding gold heat. Every word that the ancestors told, every bone of the silence inside. There is no valley for cowards to hide. Power is surging like rivers of flame, carving the scars of a glorious name. Strike with the force of 1,000 years, the world is drowning in all of your fears.
The war cry echoes through the canyon deep, waking the demons from their jagged sleep. Steel skin creates a holy spark, lighting a path crush the silver sand. Lords of the ruin roll the broken land. Golden ivory stained in black. There is no turning and no looking back. Storm is gathering and sleep away, sealing the hinges of a darker fate.
Muscles tighten like a strong bow, ready for the chaos down below. Every heartbeat is a strike of lead, painting the pavement in a royal red. The air is heavy with the scent of brass, watching the shadows of the giants pass. The ground is splitting and the ocean roars, opening the locks of the forbidden doors. Rise through the smoke and the blinding gold key. Every word that the ancestors told, every bone of the silence inside. There ain't no valley for cowards to hide. Power is surging like rivers of flame, carving the scars of a glorious name. Strike with the force of 1,000 years. The world is drowning in all of your fears. Through the smoke and the blinding gold heat, every word that the ancestors told, every bone of the silence inside. There ain't no valley for cowards to hide. Power is surging like rivers of flame, carving the scars of a glorious name. Strike with the force of 1,000 years. The world is drowning in all of your fears.
The ancestors are breathing through the shifting canyon floor. The dust is rising higher as they hammer on the door. The spirits in the timber and the hollow of a bone are calling back the travelers to a land they used to own. The thunder in the valley isn't rain against the tin. It is the ancient pulse that lets the heavy soul begin. A ghost is in the engine and a fever in the wheel. The leather binds a spirit to the turning of the steel. The copper in the mountainside is bleeding through the clay. The shadows of the hunter chase the closing of the day. The wind across the water has a story it must tell, of secrets in the silence and the ringing of the bell. The current is a wire and the earth is spinning fast. The future is a shadow that was borrowed from the past. The fire in the belly of the furnace starts to climb. We are dancing on the edge of the machinery of time. The mountain is a temple and the sky is made of gold. We are singing out the verses that the elders never told. The smoke is rising steady from the center of the plain. The memory is pulsing like a hammer in the vein. The desert is a mirror and the light is turning red, delivering now the echoes of the words the father said. The gravel on the highway is the song beneath the tire. The nighttime is a blanket that is woven out of fire. The eagle isn't soaring, he is cutting through the air. The spirit isn't hidden, he is standing right there. The cedar and the willow are the pillar of the hall. The thunder in the distance is the entering of the cold. The drums are moving closer as the city fades away. The darkness is the gateway to the coming of the day. Fire is humming loudly, and the heat is in the palm. The storm is gathering weight inside the center of the calm. The current is a wire and the earth is spinning fast. The future is a shadow that was borrowed from the past. The fire in the belly of the furnace starts to climb. We are dancing on the edge of the machinery of life. The mountain is a temple and the sky is made of gold. We are singing out the verses that the elder never told. The dust settles hard on the concrete floor. They keep on knocking at the iron door. I hold my ground with a heavy hand, the tallest pillar in this barren land. The metal screams like a dying ghost. I am the one they fear the most. No room for mercy in a world of lead. Forget the lies that the masters fed. I grind my teeth till the enamel breaks. I take the gold and I raise the stakes. A storm is coming from the eastern sky. I watch the vultures and the crows fly high. They want the ground but they lack the soul. I am the fire and the burning coal. The silence with a single word, the loudest thunder that you ever heard. Stand tall and face the heavy storm. The blood is cold but the steel is warm. I break the chains and I set the pace. There is no shadow on my scarred face. The hammer hits with the blinding light. We own the power and we own the night. Victory calls from the highest hill. Bend the world to my iron will. On well, look at the wreckage that you left behind. Searching for something that you cannot find. The walls are shaking and the floors are torn. A new empire is about to be born. Strike the matches and ignite the flame. Nobody here even knows your name. The ground is trembling beneath our feet. There is no mercy and no retreat. I walk the path that the brave men tread, counting the scars and the tears they shed. A heavy burden on a broken back. I stay on course and I stay on track. The engine roars like the beast in chains, the poison flowing through the rusted veins. I see the finish and I see the end. I am the force that you cannot bend. The pressure builds inside the hollow shell. I ring the gong and I ring the bell. The mountain crumbles and the seas turn black. There is no way of ever turning back. Stand tall and face the heavy storm. The blood
titans collide.
Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Storm in the chest like a hammer of light. Burning the black from the throat of the night. Gold in the crown and heavy the hand. Lord of the river and Lord of the land. Fear is a ghost that we leave in the way. Everything mine for the hunger to take. Sudden the strike like the tooth of the beast. Gather the lions to join in the feast.
Under the sun where the destiny waits. Crushing the iron and opening gates.
Sacred the ground where the titans collide.
Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Storm in the chest like a hammer of light. Burning the black from the throat of the night. Gold in the crown and heavy the hand. Lord of the river and Lord of the land. Fear is the ghost that we leave in the wake. Everything mine for the hunger to take.
Ancient echoes rise from burning dust. The thunder of the skin and iron rust. Descendants of the mountain fire we stand. Carrying the spark with the celestial hand. Beneath the weight of a rhythmic heavy tide. Nowhere for the hollow or the weak to hide. Heaven's cracked as the spirits scream. Breaking through a broken dream. Power flows like a river of gold. Stories of the warriors untold.
From the valley to the summit of the night, we walk the shadows for the light. Crush every barrier that stands in the way. Command the dawn at the end of the day.
The earth will tremble when the giants sway. Every single bond of the past will break. Blood of the kings in the veins of the young. Songs of the victory that remain unsung.
Heavens crack as the spirits scream. Breaking through a broken dream. Power flows like a river of gold.
Stories of the warriors untold.
From the valley to the summit of the night, we walk the shadows for the light. Crush every barrier that stands in the way. Command the dawn at the end of the day. Heavens crack as the spirits scream. Breaking through a broken dream. Power flows like a river of gold.
Stories of the warriors untold.
From the valley to the summit of the night.